And hello and welcome to the channel. This is a live stream with Bragi. Now just bear with me whilst I find the live stream so I can see the questions coming in. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. On this channel we tell folk tales, we talk about history, and we have a vlog. It used to be a weekly vlog, but now I often call it the sometimes weekly vlog. And if you're very lucky, you'll get to see a vlog episode this Sunday. So just bear with me whilst I try and find the live stream. Because of course I do not know if anybody's joined yet. I cannot see my mobile screen. This will just take me about a minute. Mobile screen. This will just take me about a minute. So, how are you today? How's your week going? Let me know. I love to hear from our subscribers. Oh yes, I do. And I do love your comments. And perhaps I'll do something we may talk about later on. Now, I am getting thirsty, and as you can see, I'm a Viking, and every Viking needs a drink. So, was hail and good health to you. Now, something I'm going to talk about tonight is premieres on the channel and on YouTube. It is a relatively new feature. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. What are your thoughts on premieres? I'd love to hear what you think. And your thoughts in a comment. So far I can't find the live stream, so just have to bear with me. It is going to pop up in a minute on my screen, and then I can see if anybody's watching. I could be talking to myself here. Now I can see it. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, I'm very thirsty today. I'm drinking water, by the way. Well, I might not be drinking water. It's always strange when you see yourself suddenly appear on camera. And it's quite late at night, so I'm not sure how good the lights are going to be. So this is also like a test. Well, look, I'm not very central. And so far there's just one person watching. Now that could be me. Well, it might be you. If it is you, hello. Was hail, good day, or good night in the Viking tongue. And yes, if you're wondering what that squeaky noise is, well, that's actually I've got a war chest in this room I'm in, where we live stream, and this war chest I'm sitting on is all full of swords and axes. Every Viking needs one. Although I must admit it's very heavy to lift, and Olaf, who often helps me around Northworthy, often complains when we have to move the war chest. So now we have 2 people watching, so that's great. Fantastic, hello and welcome. I always like it when you get more people watching. Just bear with me. Oh, I'm saying that a lot recently in the live streams. Just bear with me. It could be one of those catchphrases to appear on a t-shirt in many years' time. If it's not already on a t-shirt. Now, I just got to log into so I'm currently logged into another YouTube account so I can find the live stream. And then after that I can log into the YouTube channel to actually watch the live stream and then answer your questions and see if anybody's actually leaving any comment right now. But my TV is a little bit, the screen's a bit, resolution is a bit smaller than normal. It's because I took out my other monitor cable from my computer. I imagine if Vikings had computers, they'll just end up smashing them with axes a lot. Oh, you know, I would if I was a Viking 1,000 years ago with a computer and didn't know what it did. There we can log into that. Hopefully the live stream will still remain and we can see if anybody's leaving comments. Oh yes. Yeah, so enough of that for now. So today's live stream is a general chat to see who turns up, and it's also something I've not done before on the channel, is appear on my own. Normally I'll have Egil here. Egil? Oh, he's not there, where is he? He'll be in bed by now, all tucked up in bed. You know, he's old and he's got to get his sleep for tomorrow. We are filming, so we need a good Egil to be wide awake. So far I can't see any comments. So leave us a comment so I can see a comment. If anybody's, I know somebody's watching other than me. So if that's you, Tom Dale, or shall I call you Thomas of Dale, leave us a comment so I can see one. It's also quite strange seeing myself on the camera but not hearing myself, so it kind of reminds me of Police Academy. I don't know why, but it just does. Now, one thing I thought about doing in the live streams is actually telling folk tales, because yes, I know I could probably tell you a few folk tales right now. I know quite a few off by heart. Now there's a chat. It's very small, that's why I couldn't see it. Hello. I really must get the screen to be bigger. Oh, and I'll tell you another thing I forgot to do is get my keyboard. Hang on a second, I'll be back. Two things I've got to do. Do this. That might resolve the problem and get my keyboard. I am back again. Oh, there we go. Well met, Bragi. Oh, it's Rob Napier. Hello, Rob. Ah, nice to meet you, Rob. Of course, I know you in real life. If you are the true and one only Rob Napier. This is like a live stream test. And we also need to get some more watch time on the channel and increase our views. And so it kind of hopes to do some live streaming. Although normally I would not be live streaming on Thursday. Definitely this time of night. I think in the future I can live stream on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday at this time, because I have cover for my father, who has to be cared for at night 3 times a week. Give me a rest. So if I do disappear, it's where I have to go. But hopefully that won't happen for a few hours, because it's pretty good for the first few hours. I won't wake up. So let's just see how we go on this and see who joins. So, welcome. Well met indeed. Oh yes. Get rid of the old Farby keyboard for now. And drink some more ale. Oh yes. Oh look, I do like that name. Fafuda. Was hail to you. Now I was hoping Thomas might be around. He's the guy who's currently opening and starting a blog for us, because I don't have time to blog. You know, I've got enough things on my plate to do, let alone the research for the channel is a tremendous amount of work. Luckily, you know, Egil's doing a great share of the research, which is fantastic, and I'm doing the research I'm doing. So together we're getting some nice research, and we're going to get some nice content put out in the future, because we're always trying to improve the content. It's the way to go. So we'll just wait, see what else turns up. Oh, that's the helmet falling down. Oh, that's a set disaster. Perhaps you want to have a look at this. This is one I made many years ago. I had help with a guy called Dave, who is no longer with us. And as an apprentice in sheet metal work, I did some of the work on this. It's a nice helmet. It's slightly tight on my head these days. It's a shame. But it just fits me just about right without a liner. So let's just carry on, see what it joins. It's still early. That's the alarm I got. So if you hear a buzzing noise, that's to alert you that I've got to go to attend to my dad. So the idea is on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday, I might have to use that because we've got a carer in. But I don't think he's going to wake up. So you're listening as you drive. So just putting over to type. Oh, that's very good. But you be safe on the roads. It reminds me of a story about an Irish man who was travelling all along a road, And this is a folk tale to be told soon on the channel. And it's called The Irishman and the Bull. And he was a very old Irishman, and he was on a journey. Not quite sure where or where to. And in folk tales, that's often the way. You never know the name of the person, or where he's going to, or for what purpose. You just know that something happens on that journey, and then the folk tale's created. So on this day, he'd been quite lucky. He had lodgings the night before at a nice farmhouse, and had some meat and some cheese. He was fond of cheese, and some nice bread. And he slept by the hearth in a nice cloak. And he got up early and left. And he'd been walking all day, and in the mid-afternoon, he could tell by the sun, he came to an old wood. And it was a very ancient wood. The trees were big, and there were some mighty oaks. Yes, indeed. And he was walking through the wood. He didn't want to bypass, go round. That would be too much for his legs. But as he came through the wood, and in the middle, there was a very strange clearing. And around this square clearing was a stone wall. And it was quite big. In fact, it was the biggest stone wall clearing he's ever seen. And trust me, this man had walked a long way. He had been through many boots. And so he decided, should he walk around, or should he climb over the clearing and go through it? He did what I'll probably do. He climbed over the wall, and he started to walk through the clearing. And suddenly, halfway through the clearing, he noticed something. He noticed a mighty bull, a big cow. That big he thought it was about a league high, though he could have been exaggerating for the folktale. And, well, seeing this bull, he got rather nervous and suddenly started trying to run, because suddenly the bull started to stamp its feet and snort. I can't do a snorting noise or sound, but I'm pretty sure Egil can. He's very good at voices. And he started to run with his legs, and he just got to the wall when the bull caught up with him and kind of helped him over it, with the horns framing over the wall, and he landed kind of awkwardly. And, well, being an old wise man, he climbed at the wall, and the bull was there at the bottom of the wall trying to get through to get to this man. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to remember you." And that is the end of that folk tale. And that is an English folk tale called The Irishman and the Bull. It makes you think, though, there you are going along and you saw a bull. I think I'd run fast too. And some of these bulls out there are mighty large. But the horses back in the day were much smaller. You can often see us talk about the horses in the videos. So far we've got 2 people watching. I kind of hope we might have a few more. And kind of got the idea of doing late night live streams, because we do need a live stream on the channel regularly, really, at least once a week, because subscribers want live streams. They want to see you live. They're not just fundamentally come here to watch the content. They come here to watch me and Egil when he's here. And hopefully, if we can meet on Sunday afternoon, we can do a live stream, because that's also a very good time for us to live stream. So, how are you liking the premieres? I'm not sure, Rob Napier, if you know much about the premieres on the channel. And I'm pretty certain some of you folk out there don't know what premieres are on YouTube. Well, what a premiere is, it's pretty much what it means. It's a chance to preview your content. So let's say I did a trailer review of the Vikings Series 1, which we are going to do. We're ready to do it. So instead of just publishing the content by scheduling it, which is always best to schedule the videos, then we'll generally premiere the video. And what that gives the ability for us to do is to actually interact with our subscribers and new potential subscribers. And the idea is that beforehand you can chat in a chat window, and then you get like a 2-minute warning when the premiere is about to start. Of course, if you click the notification bell, you'll be notified of the premiere. and then the premiere starts, and we can collectively all hang out and watch the videos, and I'll be in the chat window chatting. And so far, it's been a very interesting journey and experience. The question I like to know is, well, what are the best times to premiere? And should we premiere all the videos? So, for instance, if let's say one of the recent videos we did was a video called Longship versus Longboat. And I kind of deliberately got that video wrong in many essence because I wanted it to be slightly controversial. Because is it a longboat or is it a longship? Well, fundamentally we know it's a longship. But then again, when you start getting into the classifications of different types of Viking and Anglo-Saxon ships, it gets slightly complicated. And then it gets complicated with later ideas and thoughts about what a boat means. And then, because they called it a vessel later on. But that's another subject. And I think we will do a live stream on the longboat at some point. The longship. Got it wrong there, see. I think that's one of the problems with it, is that it's so ingrained, so in society, and we're so used to calling it a longboat. Well, I certainly am. I must really write it down in big letters somewhere and leave it in my house, just longship. Do it in runes, it will be authentic. It's strange to see myself do that on camera. Just like that. That's the Tommy Cooper impression for one of our American friends who will later watch this video. So normally I have the video the other way round, so I can actually see how long we've been streaming for. But at the moment I don't know how long that is. That's not a bad thing. So let's talk about content we've been publishing. Now tonight I should have published and premiered a video. It would have been a video of the 3rd season trailer of The Last Kingdom. It was a TV series I really enjoyed and looking forward to watching the 3rd season of. But I had to delay it, so I'm really sorry about that. But tomorrow night I'm going to premiere it tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and I will be around for that. There won't be no problems at all. I mean, I can fake click and disappear during the premiere and come back for 30 seconds or a minute. That's no problem to me. I can still type in the comments with my mobile. But I will be around. And then, if you want a live stream afterwards, I could do a live stream afterwards. Because the thing about the premiere, what I don't like, is that you watch the premiere, you have all this nice chat with your subs, you know, like Tetto Sagas, well, he might be in there, and Thomas Dale. And we've seen Celtic God in a few of the premiere videos we've been doing, in watching them with us. So what we're doing is, at the end, the premiere finishes, and then suddenly the chat finishes. And you kind of left there hanging, trying to quickly type thanks for watching, and you don't really get any kind of after chat. It would be very nice if YouTube could do something like, you could feature a second video and prolong, you know, the premiere, or have a second feature attached to it. That would be a good idea. Not only would it be a good idea for watch time for a channel, it'd be very good for YouTube, because after all, YouTube want people to watch content, and they want to watch content on YouTube. So it's something I'm thinking about a lot, premieres at the moment. I've been watching a few videos on the subject too. So some of the videos we've been filming recently, and I've published. We've had 2 folk tales this week go out on the same day. That was kind of like a trial thing. I just wanted to try that, because often when we record a folk tale, I'll be telling a version, and then Egil will do one. Well, normally it's the way around actually. Egil will do it first, and then I will bounce off Egil's version and do my version. And that's quite useful, because you can also remember the folk tale of actually watching somebody else tell it. So I decided to try something different, was to premiere the same folk tale twice, having Egil's version go first and then my version go second. And I don't know what you guys thought about that. I thought it was successful. It was quite nice to see the 2 folk tales go at the same time, but 2 different versions. So I'm more of happy about that. But I think the timing may have been wrong, because I did one at 6:30 and one at 7. So probably I could do one at 9 o'clock and one at 12 at night. So have a 3-hour gap between the two of them. I think that might work. And I suppose in between you could do a live stream and then watch the premiere. There's just so many opportunities. At the moment we've been telling lots of English folk tales. There's so many online, and I've been getting quite influenced by David Heathfield, watching a few of his English folk tales. Been learning one or two he's told, because it's nice to watch somebody else tell a folk tale, because by doing that you learn. And I think you definitely learn from watching your own content and your own folk tales you tell. Right, you're finally home, Rob. Whoa, I'm glad you got home safe. There's nothing like your homestead. Get yourself a nice cup of tea or a beer. What are you drinking? That is often a question I see in videos or live streams, and people always answer. Of course, with only two of us, you only get two answers, but it's always good when there's like 1,000 people in a live stream. And one day that will happen, because naturally as a channel grows, and it does take a long time on YouTube to grow, it doesn't happen overnight. Not unless you're really lucky and you get a viral video. Then you could have superb, vast amount of growth. And this is what people don't understand about YouTube, is that, well, if you are in, you know, you have a channel and it becomes successful, well, you're fundamentally daft if you don't make money out of that and make a business out of it. But what that business model is a saleable business model compared to a traditional non-saleable. Because on YouTube you can have like growth on your videos of 10,000% of people watching and increasing the views and watch time. In fact, I have another channel. It's my first original channel, which is like my own personal channel, which I'm not going to tell you the name of, because all I got is a few duplicate videos and a lot of my own videos private, set to private. There is about 300 videos on there and about another 700 to publish. But I do have a video, and at the moment I think the watch time for the last 28 days has just gone over 1 million minutes, which kind of boggles my mind. Well, there's a good word, boggle. That's right, boggling that is. But it did, that boggled, that really that really amazed me, that just on the channel I do nothing with, and I uploaded a load of content years ago. I've got 1 million minutes of watch time in 4 weeks. I'm not sure how much that is in days and hours. It's a lot. And of course, over the years, YouTube has become harder to be successful on, because they've raised the limits, or not limits, but they raised the stats, or what you need to be successful. They made it more difficult, but they made it more competitive as well. So I think that's a good thing. Oh, we had a third watcher there. Oh, please come back. We'll talk about folk tales. Now, a folk tale we told recently, because I know it's slightly controversial that sometimes we have duplicate folk tales, but I don't think that. So I just had a comment here from Rob Napier. Sorry, I missed that. I was called, so I find the site quite entertaining. Yes, I mean, I hope you're referring to our site, but YouTube itself is very entertaining, and that's what I like about YouTube. I mean, there's some ridiculous stat that every day there's like 7 years worth of content uploaded. You know, where did they store it all? Boggles your mind. Oh, of course, thank you very much. I know you love our content. You know, we tend to stick around and keep improving. And I'm partly doing this because I want Egil to have some success with his life. You know, so that's another great reason for you folks to support the channel. You know, be kind to an Egil. Egils are not just for Christmas. And I think it will be. Well, I don't think, I know it will be successful, but it just takes a long time to be successful. And, you know, there's channels with less videos than us who will have over 100,000 subs doing historical videos, but we're not really being discovered, because if you think about the fact that, well, we've got 14,000 views nearly on the channel, that's not a lot of views. People will do that in an hour on their channels in one video, so it just takes time to be discovered. So we are probably, I often say this, we're probably the most undiscovered historical channel on YouTube. I don't like to blow my own horn, as a Viking would say. So a folktale we did tell recently was the one we recorded, and I didn't rehearse this. It was a folktale called The Three Sillies. It's a really nice folktale, and I decided I wanted to do a version with Egil, because he could sit by me, and he did. And as we told a folktale, I do the narration, and it kind of works quite successfully, and he'll do the voices. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the folktale, because soon it will be published, and I do not want to ruin the tale. But it's about this family, and probably farmers. A lot of these folktales revolve around farmers, but then again, most people were farming those days if you didn't have much coin and you needed to eat. And they had a daughter, or in Saxon, a dossier. I can remember that because of Tyrkir Thorsson. He normally shouts his name a bit louder than me. And, well, the daughter was courting. Well, courting's a later word, more 14th, 15th century, but she was seeing this young Saxon warrior. And the farmer and his wife, the husband and wife, they had a nice long house. And it had something unusual because they were slightly on a hill, so it had a basement where they could keep their stores. And in this basement they had some beer barrels of ale. So I will answer your question when I've told this little folktale. So they was drinking one day. A young Saxon man was courting the young daughter. He was at the age of being married during the times of the Saxons. And they was having a meal, and they ran out of mead. So the farmer sent the daughter down to go and get some mead, but she went down into the cellar, and when she looked up, she saw an old rusty axe in the beam in the ceiling, and got all upset and started crying, saying, well, what if I got married to this young man, and in 15 years' time we had a child, and he came down here to get some mead, and the axe fell in his head and killed him. So she was bawling her eyes out. So after some time, they wondered what was happening up there round the table where they got all the food, nice cheese and bread. We all love cheese and bread. Oh yes. And the husband, the farmer, was getting concerned. Where's his daughter? Where's the mead? We got a young man here who needs some drink, and it's rude. So he sent his wife down, and she walked down the stairs, and she found the daughter crying her eyes out. And, well, the daughter explained, well, the axe in the ceiling, and if she got married and they had a child, the child came down and the axe hit her on the head, that it'll kill him. So suddenly the wife started crying. And this happened again, repeated the process. The husband went down this time, the farmer, and he ended up crying down there after being told this long story about some axe and some possibility in the future of it cracking somebody on the head and killing them. Grandson. So after a while, the young Saxon warrior who was courting this young lady, this daughter of the farmer, well, he got a bit curious and wondered what was going on. So he climbed down and found all three of them crying their eyes out, and he thought, what on earth is going on here? He cried out. And the farmer, being the man of the household, the husband, he explained what was going on. And after the tale of the axe and getting married and having a child and 15 years going by, 15 long summers and 15 cold winters, it was colder in those days, hence the cloaks. Well, he said, I've never met three silly people in my life, and I utterly refuse to marry your daughter, he said to the husband, the man of the house, or the farmstead, or a long house, until I've gone out on a journey and met 3 more sillier people. They like these journeys, don't they, these Saxons and Vikings? So the next day, when he was back to his own longhouse where his parents lived, his mother and father, he got some good boots and he got a nice leather bag with some bread and cheese, and he set off. And he's been walking for a few hours. When he came to this farmstead, he was thirsty for water. But something strange was going on in this farmstead. For outside of the farmstead and this farm, the longhouse, was unusual. And you may be asking yourself, Rob Napier, why is it unusual? Well, it had a turf roof. Most longhouses either had a thatched roof or what we'll call shingles, little planks of wood, often made out of lime, the same wood used for shields. And there was an old man outside, and he was trying to push this old cow up onto the roof with a ladder. And this young Saxon man, well, he went to it and said, "What on earth are you doing, old man?" He said, "Well, I'm trying to push this cow onto the roof so I can get the grass and feed it on it." Well, he said, "Well, that's a daft idea." He said, "Why don't you just get a scythe, climb on the roof, cut it all down, and you could fight it down for him?" "Oh, no, I can't do that," he says, the old man, the old farmer. And in the end, he got him on the roof. And he said, "Well, I want to make sure my cow was safe." It was the only cow he had. So what did he do? He got a rope and he tied it to one of his legs, and he threw it down the chimney. This was an unusual farm, for it had a chimney. And then he climbed down, he went inside, and he tied the chimney to the bed. I'm going to have to go. No, it's all right. Give me a minute. I'm going to have to go, so I'll be back in a minute and I'll continue this tale. And it'll be like 2-3 minutes. See what's going on. Hang on. How strange. I am back. That was a false alarm. How strange. You tell a folk tale and strange things happen. Oh, it's the chair. So I'm going to go down a minute. He's in bed, he's fine. It's the chair going off. So, and I've only got one dad. So it cannot be him. Well, it's a ghost in the chair. Anyway, so this farmer, he was trying to push this car, and he got this rope tied to the leg, put it down the chimney, and then he went inside the longhouse and he tied it to his leg. Well, what do you think happened? The car fell off, and this old farmer went straight up the chimney. And our young Saxon man said, "Well, you are indeed a silly old man, and there's my first of the 3 silly people I must meet." So off he went after he got some water, and he kept on walking, and he came to this bit of a hill. It was like grassland, all grass, no trees, but one tree in the middle, a very big old oak tree. But there was something strange going on here too. Yeah, I have to go down a minute and turn the chair alarm off. Something strange was going on here too. There was a man, and he was trying to jump into these trousers, which were hanging off a big branch off this oak tree. It was a very old oak tree. And you know how on oak trees the branches loop down? If you could imagine a pair of trousers kind of tied off a string and a man jumping off a log to get into them. Well, our Saxon man, he went up to him and said, "What in the 9 worlds are you doing?" And the man said, "Oh, I'm trying to get into these trousers here." and I start trying to get into him by jumping. I can't do the voices like Egil. And he kept on trying to jump in the trousers, jump in the trousers. We might try this for a video one day, it'll be hilarious. And he kept on trying to jump in them, but no way was he getting in them. And our young Saxon man, he was getting frustrated by this, from seeing this very silly man trying to jump into trousers. And we all know you don't put trousers on by jumping on them. No, it's not Wallace and Gromit. No. He was a normal Saxon, a bit strange, trying to jump into trousers. And he cut them down. He says, this is how you put trousers on. And he lay him on the floor, and he put his trousers on him and said, that's how you do it. And he said, you are indeed a very silly man. I've never met a man like you trying to get into trousers by jumping into them. And you are the second most silliest person I've met today. And off he went. And soon he came to the county of Nottinghamshire. And he came to a village along a road. And you may have heard of this village, for it is very well known for having some wise men and their stories. Yes, you've heard it. It is the wise men of Gotham, and he got to Gotham. And he was going through the little village, Villani in Saxon, and he saw these people in a little pond jumping up and smashing it with clubs. Some had forks. There was a man with a sword smashing it into the water like a berserker. You wouldn't do that with a sword. And he went up, tapped one of the locals on the back. He said, hey up, youth. What are you doing here? And the man explained to him, that's the chair, it's all right, I'm going down in a minute to sort that out. He explained to him that we're trying to kill and drown this eel. And he said, what? Well, there'd be this eel in the water, and we don't like it, so we're going to drown it. And literally they were trying to drown an eel. Well, our young Saxon warriors said, well, I've never seen anybody in my whole life try to drown an eel, let alone a whole village. And this village must be by far the most stupid village with silly people in it. And that is when he knew he had met the three silly people. Oh look, my alarm's going off. Just like some strange magic in the Dark Ages. What is it? Anyway, then he knew that he had done his task and his journey was over. So eventually he walked back and he married the young lady. And I assume they lived ever happy after. It's always quite interesting in folk tales how 3 is often the number things that occur around. Why has he got to meet 3 people? Why did 3 people walk downstairs and see an axe in the ceiling and get upset about it? It's, you know, although we do know that 3 is a magical number, you know, 3 3 is a 9. I often see most numbers will associate with 9 if you add them all up. So yeah, that's very interesting that. So got a comment here from Rob Napier. I find the laid-back approach taken by you two far more watchable than many other history sites. Yes, I can understand what you mean by that. One of the reasons why I started this channel was because I wanted to make history more approachable, more easy for people to watch and get into, but also I wanted to do it in kit, in Viking, as a Viking, because not many people, nobody really doing this. And the original idea was to begin with telling folk tales and talking about the Sagas. Both of those are massive tasks alone to cover all of them, just from Europe. And then it was also to introduce historical videos, historical chats. And I think gradually we're doing this. And I think things like the vlog, they helped us to be more ourselves on camera, because with a vlog it's not so fundamentally right or necessary to be talking about something correct all the time, if you see what I mean. We can get away with lots of more things in the vlog. We can just change subject far more quickly. If we're doing a set video about Viking clothing, then it's going to be about Viking clothing. But in the vlog it's more vast what we can talk about. And it's often like the last vlog wasn't planned really. It was just a spontaneous vlog. I had a rough idea what I'm going to talk about and what we knew we could talk about, and we just have fun. Because after all, like I said earlier, it's not always about the content, it's about the people you watch. And I like channels like IKS Exploration. If you've not heard of them, Rob Napier, I'd urge you to check them out. If you go to our homepage on the channel, you'll see their channel highlighted. And what they are a urbex channel, urban exploration. But they go around sites from World War One to the Cold War, and they do it in a very professional manner, which a lot of urbex sites don't do. So I really enjoy the content, but I also enjoy it because of them. So just bear with me, because I've got to go and turn off a chair alarm. Well, it's this buzzer thing, which is, I'll explain what it is, because I'm a carer. If my dad gets up, I'm alerted. So 4 nights a week, I have to cover for him. And it went off. You heard it, if you watched it earlier, but my dad's fast asleep in bed, so the chair alarm's a bit faulty and it went off on its own. Technology, eh? I mean, the Vikings didn't have such issues. And I'll be back in a minute and continue this tale and see who else may join. So far, just the 2 of us. I will send a message to Tom. Give me a second, when I'll do that when I get back. In the meantime, enjoy the background. Viking. I am back again. I don't really like speaking when I got the full body on camera. Now let me find my mouse. I know I did have it earlier, and I can see what comment we've been left by Tom. There we go. Good. Right, you know, Vikings wouldn't put up with mice. You see, we can't get somebody else in here. Oh, that's a cool. Oh, look at that! I can't quite see the type box. Let me just bear with me a minute. I just got to click on here so I can say something. You see, we can't get somebody else in here. One of our admins. Oh, that was a sword falling down. Oh dear. I've got another. Alright, I'll talk about current reenacting in a minute. Let me just have this quick message. That's an interesting subject. Technology, eh? I mean, I've got to pick up my sword. Let's talk about this for a second. I've actually done some work on this recently. If you check out some of the videos, you'll notice this is very faded. So a very quick technique was to get some brown shoe leather and really put it in there and then wipe it off, polish it off. And I think it's come up quite nice. Don't you agree? Oh, that's going off again. Is it my dad? No, it's a chair. We've got a problem with the chair alarm. I'm going to have to go and sort that. And then I'll come back and talk about reenacting in the modern world. Because soon it'll be 2020. It's quite amazing, really. You think some of the people I know started in the late 60s. So that's over 50 years of reenacting. That's quite amazing. I don't know why this chair alarm keeps going off, because basically, for it to go off, you have to sit in it. And there's nobody in the room. Although we have had 1 or 2 spooky things going on, including a glass shelf some months ago flying off and landing in a very strange place, like miles away from where it began. I'm not sure how that happened. Then another strange thing happened downstairs, was that a lamp moved and was knocked over and broke. Egil came in and tried to get rid of the ghost. He might have done a good job, but I've got to go back and disable it. Back in a second, I think. Alright, I'm back again. Hopefully this time it'll be the last time until my dad actually does get out of bed. Which I don't mind, but when the alarm keeps going off, for no reason. So the current state of reenacting in the modern world. Well, reenactment is a lot smaller than it used to be. No, that's no problem. You need to turn in, carry on. I'll carry on talking about it, and then you can watch this later on. So it's a lot smaller. There's not so many people doing it these days, and the cost has gone up. So overall, it's not as good as it used to be. The 90s was one of the peak periods in the UK for reenactment. Probably the 80s was bigger. Certainly societies in the 1980s were much larger. I think the American Civil War Society in the 1980s had nearly 2,000 members, but I could be wrong in that, in the UK. And be well yourself there, Rob. If anybody else continues to watch, I may continue. But I'll continue for now. And in the 90s, the larger societies probably struggled, so they got smaller. And then kind of the issue of insurance became an issue, as well as legislation when it came to gun ownership, which is not a bad thing. So a lot of these effects have affected reenactment. Also, we don't have the customers like we used to have. So people are wanting to hire societies are not there. They don't have the money. So that's another thing that's affected reenactment a lot. Because some societies, you know, they'll charge you £4,000 to £5,000, you know, $6,000 to $8,000 for a weekend, because they're providing cavalry or they're providing cannon or horse. So not every client who wants to hire a society for, let's say, a carnival or a Lord's Mayor event, a stately home, a country fair, would have that money. I don't know why that's going off again. It's just mighty strange. I think the equipment's faulty, and I hate to go. So yeah, so overall reenactment is not what it used to be, but also reenactment has improved. The authenticity has improved. We know more than we did 20 years ago, so in that aspect it's a very good thing. The cost of kit has come down as well, and the availability of kit. There are more manufacturers these days than ever before. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. But there's always more opportunities for manufacturers to make more kit, because the amount of, if you look at the Dark Ages alone, if you take strap ends or pendants, you can manufacture hundreds and hundreds of each of them and just sell them as a business. If you're selling to reenactors, you know, brooches. I mean, how many brooches have been found, or let alone in private collections? So the scope for making things for the Dark Ages is very fast. But also people have picked up on crafts, and I think this really came apparent in the late 80s and the 90s when living history took over more. It wasn't always about the battle, it became about the people, what they were doing, the ordinary people. You know, it wasn't about the big battle, it became about crafts and what people did every day in their daily life. And because of that, people learnt skills, people learnt tablet weave, people learnt how to do Dark Age and Viking carving, people learnt complex leather work. So the skill in societies has also increased, and because more people have learnt stuff. I learnt a lot of these skills in the early 2000s, late 90s. So as you practice more, you become better, you become more confident. I believe that if you put your mind to it, you can make anything. You often see people say, well, I can't sew, but if you sit down with them for a couple of hours, well, they can sew themselves a little patch, or they could patch up a pair of trousers or breeches. You're always going to have somebody you can't sew. So overall, I think reenactment's good. Now, what about the future reenactment? Well, naturally, there's always a threat that there's going to be more laws governing what happens to weapons and how we use them and how we store them. So that is something as a reenactor and as reenactors in the future we should be aware of. And we should also welcome, because to a degree we do want some control, but you know, if you've got a sword, you can't license every sword in the UK, every reenactment knife and axe. There'll be no time for the authorities to do anything. But certainly the gun control is getting tighter, and to a degree that's a better thing. What about clients in the future? I often worry about, will there be enough people wanting to hire reenactors? So I often think, and partly with this channel, we're kind of thinking about the future. I've never been in my Viking kit as many times as I have in the last year. And that is because I'm making content on YouTube. And that is because most groups don't do content heavily, but it is a very good way and a fantastic way to advertise yourself. And it's not difficult to learn to edit videos, because I'm not that computer literate, you know. I'm not a Luddite, but I can do things on a computer. I couldn't write a program, and I'd often struggle with complicated software like Photoshop, and so if I can keep it basic, that's how I do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just check. Yeah, that chair's going to go off in a minute. I think for now I'm going to end this live stream because there's only one person watching. And I might live stream tomorrow night as well, because I've got a premiere and there will be some people about. But now it's late in the UK. 2/3 of our audience is from the United Kingdom, and around about 25% are American. But naturally, as the channel grows, we're going to start spreading worldwide. And naturally, as we start developing the subtitling on the content, it's going to be more accessible for people who don't speak English, which is something that I want to see happen. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, find my water, I'm thirsty. Talking on camera is not easy. Some days I can just do it naturally. That's that dreaded chair again going off. I don't know what's up with it. I'm going to have to go and sort that and have a look. Goodbye. And I'll see you tomorrow for the premiere. Don't forget to like the video and to also give it a thumbs up for me. If you could share this live stream, that would be great. I'd like to see what you guys think about the live stream. If you enjoyed me live streaming on my own, I'd like to see and hear your thoughts. I'm just holding this sword up for the thumbnail, something you must always do and think about. Good look at the thumbnail. And if you want to see more live streams by myself, then I am happy to do it. I've got lots of ideas where I could sew and make things and show you how to make a hat, for instance. So the possibilities are endless. So for now I say goodbye. Was hail. I salute you for watching. Goodbye.